Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Surely you can't be serious. Oh yes, I am serious. And don't call me Shirley. It's now June of 1982, and we're playing all the video games that were released at some time in June 1982, and we were reading the latest issue of Electronic Games magazine. Before we press forward, playing every video game, this episode is brought to you by PlayCable.
When PlayCable comes to your house,
PlayCable's here.
It's the world's most sophisticated computer game library at your
This is
24
fantastic.
hours a day on cable TV.
It's all coming to your house
the
now.
Game channel. Now you won't just watch TV, you'll sack the quarterback.
You'll be playing TV.
Even blast your way through hyperspace. Every month on PlayCable, you'll play an action-packed selection of 15 Intellivision games. The games that play more like the real thing. New games, returning games, and continuing
It's
favorites.
all Intellivision. All these games we've seen before, but now it's through cable.
Don't wait to play the world's most sophisticated computer game library.
Amazing.
Order PlayCable now.
I need to
For
get PlayCable
details,
now.
Call your cable operator.
Take it from Mickey. PlayCable's a hit.
PlayCable. the
Who was that guy?
all-game channel.
Yeah, that's right. It is PlayCable. Now, I would admit that I've never used or had PlayCable, but that is freaking amazing to get a cable to send you all the games that you can play, all those ones they're showing for Intellivision. It sounds too good to be true. Yes, incredible. Well, we are here playing every single video game. Welcome to the Intellivision, and this is Frogbog. Let's take a look at Frogbog, the latest game for your Intellivision, starting with the box. We're not using those fancy cable things. We're doing the old-fashioned go to the store and buy Frogbog. There it is. Man, Intellivision rocks. Look at that artwork. It almost looks like we're playing an educational nature title. Not really a video game. Let's flip it over on the back. Yeah, it's just really well done. Rival croakers wait on their lily pads for a live one. Flying critters of assorted speeds and shapes float by at random, anywhere on your screen. The object of the game is make a frog jump and catch insects with his flashing tongue. Jump your frog too far and he lands in the pond. Fun for the young and very young at heart. It's got 2 players simultaneous if you want. It even has sound effects like crickets, daytime, nighttime. Look at all these amazing things. And of all the variations of Frogbog you could play, this one has the day and night cycle. If you haven't seen the whole show all the way through, but since the beginning, this is the very first time you could play a home version of Frogs. That's right, Frogs from 1976. And Frogs kind of got lost in the wayside. Frogger took over, and now this is the first time you could play the Frogs game at home. Frogbog. Let's see what other artwork we have for Frogbog. The beat-up box, and then the nice shiny box. The beat-up box, and then the nice shiny box. And then there's the overlay we got to slide over to understand how to play the game. But after going from Sub Hunt to Space Spartans, this is a piece of cake. Look at this. You only got 2 buttons for day and night, and then 3 buttons at the bottom. Easy, very easy. And then the disc that you slide around, that's how you jump. Use your frog to jump. There's the cassette we're going to pop into our Intellivision with an example of the screenshot. Let's take a look at the manual for Frogbog. How do you play this one? It should play like the arcade, but this one is even better. It adds more functionality. Gameplay is even better than it was in 1976. Well, I hope so. So we got 1 or 2 players. You go for the top score or play against someone else. The object of the game is go for the high score, making the frog jump off a lily pad and catch insects with a flashing tongue. Flying critters float across high or low, anywhere on your TV screen. They even reverse direction. Flies reverse direction? May the best croaker win. So the whole point of the game is just collect flies, just like it was in the arcade. There's the overlay on your hand controller. You have very simple button controls. So now we're playing a simple Intellivision game. Imagine that. Yes. I thought it was Frogger too. I mean, anything that has frog in the title, now everyone's going to think Frogger. But sadly, Frogs has gone the wayside. And here it is coming back in your home. So you got 3 different skill levels, easy, harder, and hardest, and you push that as the 3 buttons at the bottom. In the 2-player game, both players do not have the same skill level. Adults can give little kids a break by selecting one of the 2 harder control levels, and skill level can be changed after a game begins. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the very first video game where you can change the skill level in mid-game, and the first and second player can change their skill levels independently. There's no other game we've seen where you can change the skill level Like if you're playing with a little kid, they can put their skill level down and then you can raise yours up. But then while you're in the game, you can change it on the fly. It is switch the game skill level anytime you want. So we got 2 different game selections. So not a lot of variety here, but they have a day and night cycle. Night is the not cycle, but they have a day and night mode. If you play on night mode, it's harder because the flies are harder to see. Each game lasts about 3 minutes, either day or night. And there's also different sound effects depending on which one you play. So whenever you start the game up, game starts, stay alert, insects begin to fly across your TV screen. They'll come high, low, anywhere at random. You press the disc to make the frog jump and catch bugs. When you get your frog close enough to catch a bug, the tongue will flash out automatically and swallow a bug, earning points. So you kind of have to time it, unless you play on a harder difficulty where you're controlling the tongue. Press the edges of the disc for right or left movement. Frog will always jump from one lily pad to the other each time you press the disc. When the frog jumps too far, he lands in the water, but unlike Frogger, this frog just comes out of the water, no big deal, because it's a frog. I don't know who designed Frogger and made water deathly, because I hope that isn't a trend, because we've seen so many, we're going to see so many games later where water is a death sentence. It makes no sense. Yes, that's right. Family-oriented. You get an extra half star for that? Yeah, I am with you, Manly. All right, so you can see here the disc can control how the frog jumps, and it also is touch sensitive. You press the edges for right or left jumps, and it doesn't always travel in the same arc from one lily pad to another. How far the frog jumps depends on how long you hold down the disc. So the Intellivision allows like pressure sensitive for how big the jump is. Keep in mind, the whole platformer or jumping is still new, so using the sensitive part of the joypad and pushing it down a little bit is so cool. With practice, you should be able to jump your frog across the screen to catch as many far-ranging bugs, or just make him turn around when he's at a low-flying bug. Maneuver your frog as you close as many bugs as you can before the moon goes down and the stars come out in about 3 minutes. So you can change the skill level at any time. Like I said, this is revolutionary. We haven't seen it before. And there's 4 different types of bugs. Each has a different point value. There they are, obviously looking like bugs. I'm guessing dragonfly, gnat, butterfly, and wasp. They don't say exactly what they are, but they have different point values. No way! Jinups Gronups is here. What's up? And Amanda F is here. How's it going? Yes, loved Frogbog as a kid. Great. Everyone else was thinking Frogger. I thought Frogger too for Frogbog. Yes, that's true. Saltwater was what Frogger was eating. That's why he died. It all makes sense now. And then over here we got the winning tips. Almost like an Atari manual, telling us the tips of how to play. Don't go in the water. They get out, and the reason the water is dangerous is just because you lose times, because you're trying to get the highest score. Automatic tongue works best when the frog isn't the way up and down, but you can change the difficulty at the same time, and I'll explain how that works when we get in the game. Also, watch your time. After 3 minutes, it's done. Maybe you're not alone. In the one-player game, the computer can beat you. So no matter what, you're going to have 2 frogs jumping back and forth. Final reminder, when the game is over after 3 minutes, you must press reset to bring back to the title frame. Select day or night, and a new game begins. Thanks, Intellivision. I just felt like I got a warm hug by Intellivision. Let's pop in the cartridge and play Frogbog. This is made by Peter Kaminsky and Tom Sulanil. It's sometime in June 1982. Yes, there it is, the classic Intellivision beginning. And you can see over here on the far left side, the overlay that would be in the palm of your hand for the hand controller. Let's just go in. You move the disc, and the game starts. So I played it, and it's a one-player game. If we had 2 people here with 2 controllers, you can just keep bouncing back and forth. But I'll take control of the disc, and you see I can move across as the gray frog. And I'm on the easy difficulty, so it has the same arc. You're literally just jumping back and forth. This would be for the beginners or the smaller kids. And all you have to do to move back and forth is time it so that the tongue comes out and picks up an insect, because the tongue is coming out automatically. So I'm the gray frog going back and forth, and if I hold down actually, I'm trying to see if no, the easy difficulty doesn't make any difference. No matter what I do to the disc at the bottom, it's going the same jump. So no changes there. Now let's switch it up. Let's go to the medium difficulty. So now if I change this, it's going to allow me to change the jumps. Notice my gray frog is switching up, and I can even do a little like taps. See, I'm doing little hoppy frog jumps. And the tongue is automatically coming out to get insects on the second difficulty. So I don't have to worry about when to let my tongue come out to get a fly. It's just going to happen. But I got a lot of nuance with the disc. And if I want to jump like crazy, you can see I can just fly over in the water. It feels really good, especially since we haven't seen a lot of platforming games. I wouldn't know if you'd call this technically a platforming game. You are jumping from one side to another, but the jump mechanic is still really fresh and feels pretty good. Yes, and that's true. This is one of the least complicated Intellivision games of all the other ones we played. The computer is kicking my butt right now, because if another player doesn't take over with a second controller, the computer just takes over automatically. It does take a little bit of time to get used to, but it feels refreshing just to be able to move a frog and jump back and forth. Get it! All right, now let's change the difficulty again. I'm going to go to the last one, which means the tongue doesn't come out until I push the action button. So you can see now, oh, nice, it is a day and night cycle. As the time goes down, it changes from day to night. Very nice. So now you can see I can just keep whipping that tongue out, but I have, on the hardest difficulty level, you have to be careful of how you jump. It's a lot of fun. And the simplicity is obviously different than the other Intellivision games, but it's pretty cool. All right, there we go. Now we got ahead of the first player. It's a fun two-player competitive game, and I don't know if after the 3 minutes... Oh, it does show the night. Okay, so it's not as dark as the night mode, but it's cool that it changes from day to night. It does have a day and night cycle. How about that? Yes! And the day and night cycle gives you a heads up of when you're about to get done with the round of the 3 minutes. So it's a little bit harder to control the most difficult level, but it feels better because you have full range of when to stick your tongue out to get some bugs. There it is, and the cricket sounds. Okay, I was hoping to do that. Otherwise, I was going to flip to begin the game with the night mode. Notice in the night mode we have the lightning bugs that come out, but it's harder to see because they blend in with the background. And there it is. The game is over. The game is great. The way it was programmed has added more gameplay than what we saw in 1976, and it's just a blast to play. Very, very fun. That's right. So here we go. Frog Bog, of all the games we played up to this point, for consoles, this is an above-average title. The presentation, the way it plays, the two-player functionality is really good. I don't know if I go as far as to say it's one of the best games you could play on a home console, but it is a very good title. I'm thinking 3.5 stars. Punk Rock Biker's going 4. Yeah, it didn't take much to... It entertained me. Of all the games we've seen up to this point, I'm going 3.5 stars for Frog Bog. It doesn't add to the whole list of Frogger variants we're going to see later. It's giving frogs some time in the limelight. Yes. Yeah, 3.5 stars, I'm going for Frog Bog. And with that, let's press forward and see our next game. It's time to go to the United Kingdom and play Galactic Commander on the BBC Micro. Let's see what the box is like for Galactic Commander. This is my program power, and it's for the BBC Model B, the one that will give you a little bit more memory in your computer. Nice front of the box, very sci-fi, but it doesn't really convey what the game is. It's pretty vague. We have an example of the screenshot, but that's about it. No manual. We have different ways to load it. In fact, with some hacks, we're going to play the original Galactic Commander at sometime June 1982 by MC Lothlorien by Program Power. Oh, there we go. Yes. I'm seeing a few of the 5 stars. Oh, yes, I see 5 stars. That's true. The nostalgia is pretty heavy right now. Looks like this one is not going to work for us, but no problem. If it freezes one way, we got a new way to do it. We have every way. Let's go. And for anyone that has played on the BBC Micro, we got some nice cassette loading sound effects happening in the background. They briefly flashed the controls. That was A and D to move left and then Enter to fire rockets. So the program is a simulation of the space proficiency test currently operated by most of the major civilizations in the arm of the galaxy. You'll be tested in the basic takeoff and landing skills necessary for daily driving. You may start the test at any level, but to pass, you must start at level 1 and go all the way through without making any major mistakes, like being killed. The controls are A and D, and then main jets. What level do you want to start on? Level 1. This level, you have to land the shuttle on the pad under fairly easy conditions. When the shuttle touches down, the speed must be below 1 millisecond, i.e. really low. Okay, let's go. It is a Lunar Lander variant. Wow, look at the resolution on the BBC Micro. This is one of the display modes that's going to give us a lot more pixels on the screen, but obviously we have less color. I think we're only going 2 here. Oh, we got to go slow. We did it! Yes, we didn't explode. Now we have to land your craft under slightly more difficult conditions. The force of gravity will now be 3 times stronger. Press any key to start. This is a great way to do Lunar Lander. Having you do levels to complete. Oh, wow, yeah, the gravity's a lot stronger now. This is a little trickier. Come on. I don't see a fuel gauge, though, so they're not giving me a penalty for just blasting those retro rockets. Nice and easy. Oh, this is a lot heavier. Oh, turn. Go back. Oh my gosh, it's so sensitive. Ha ha. You're completely dead. You and your friends are dead. Press any key to play again. That's what it feels like. Now, do you have to start over at the beginning? Can we go to level 2? Oh, we can. Nice. So you can pick any level after the first one. That's awesome. So let's go back to level 2. Try to land under difficulty conditions. I like the way the moon draws itself in. Look how the gravity is really pushing down hard. Oh my gosh. God, this is so tricky. Man, it's so sensitive, too. You have to be under 1 millisecond. We played already a few Lunar Lander variants. This one, I'd say, is still pretty good, even though it's giving me a run for my money. Oh, I'm back on level 1. I pushed the wrong one. I want to keep going with level 2. Yes, we are completely dead. Well, it's controlling with the keyboard, but you really don't need that much to play a Lunar Lander game. But I like the idea of every level offers a different challenge that you have to complete. Very nice touch. Easy. Easy. Oh, gosh. I feel like I'm still going to blow up. All right, now the gravity's 3 times stronger. I don't know what's going to happen. In the 80s, the future was just bleak, thanks to Blade Runner. Everyone thought it was going to be a dystopian future. Here's no different. Oh my gosh, crank it up, go, quick! Gosh, I was going constant retro rockets. You are completely dead. All right, let's try again, level 2, and if not, we can skip. We'll see if level 3 works. I don't know if it'll let us do level 3 unless we've completed level 2, but let's find out. The keyboard for the BBC Micro is a legit keyboard, really, really nice, especially in the United Kingdom. Yes, we did it! We got level 2 done. Level 3 conditions for this level are the same as level 1, except some lunatic will try to occasional pot shot you. Nice, if someone's shooting at us. Where are they? Where's the shots? I don't see any turrets. All right, we'll just go for the landing. I don't see any opposition. I am cleared for landing. And we did it. Oh, that was easy. I don't know where the shots were. Level 4, you have to start from a mothership in geostationary orbit around the planet, land some cargo on the surface. The test ends when all the cargo is unloaded and you've docked with the mothership again. There must not be any sideways movement of your craft relative to the mothership. All right? Is this our cargo we're holding in our hand? Oh, I see. We are on the top and we're going down. Where's the cargo, though? Are we supposed to collect it somewhere else? I'm just going to go for the landing and see, because I don't see anything that's... Got it. Oh, wait. It's doing a countdown at the top. Oh, okay, that's filling up the cargo. I'm supposed to stay down. Okay, got it. Stay down. I see. Look at the top. That's the cargo loading up. Cargo's loaded. All right, let's go. And we have to go back into the orbit around the top, so I got to come all the way over to this side. Is it going to... What happened? Did I leave the screen? Oh, okay, I'm still there. Where's my ship? It just flies off the top. All right, we played a lot of Lunar Lander variants. This one's pretty fun. This one's really, really good. Even though it's only controlled with 3 buttons, left, retro rockets, right, and then fire, it's great playing these mission-type games. Did we do it? Did we finish? Yes, we did it! Now we're on level 5. Gravity will now be as for level 1. The lunatic is back. You have to take off and land from a moving mothership. The game will end when all the cargo is unloaded and you have redocked with the mothership. So now it's going to be moving across. Yes. So nice. Okay, so now we're going to have opposition down below. I don't know. Oh, there they are. Now they're shooting at us. This is going to be so hard when they do 3 times the gravity. No. So you have to know when to take off so you don't get blown up. Another great game, and because you want to see what's next. What's the next level going to have? You're completely dead. Yes, we have to park the ship. I would love to see that. So I want to keep playing. That's another great draw of an excellent video game. Man, for the Lunar Lander variants, that's one of the best ones we've seen of all the Lunar Lander variants. For a home computer game, that's a great title. I'm thinking a 3.5, maybe 4 stars. Trying to think of anything else we played. The controls could be a little clunky, but that'd be being pretty picky. I'm gonna go for all the games you could play at the time. Galactic Commander is a really fun time. Yeah, I'm going 4 stars because they're letting us go level to level. What's the next level? That's what's cool. That's what's great. All right, so 4 stars for Galactic Commander, the best Lunar Lander variant we've seen so far. Yes. All right, so 4 stars all around. Let's see what our next game is. It's time to go to the Commodore VIC-20, and this is Hoppy. We're still in the United Kingdom. Hoppy is part of a compilation called the Innovative Cassette 3. Clifford Ramshaw is on the front. I don't know for sure if he did Hoppy, but this was published by Melbourne House. So let's pop in the cassette and play Hoppy. It's sometime in June 1982. So this is one game part of the rest of a compilation of games. Just bear that in mind before we get dumbed down with, oh my gosh, the noise is so loud. Let's crank it down just a tad there. All right, so Hoppy is, ladies and gentlemen, a Frogger variant. So even though Frogbog wasn't the Frogger variant you thought it was, this one is. Oh my gosh, it's so slow. And if you're not familiar with the Commodore VIC-20, they are using text characters. This is not done in graphic. Well, it's obviously some graphics, but it's using all the text characters that are part of, built into the Commodore VIC-20. So what we're seeing here, they're just using what the system has. But it is bare bones Frogger. It is slow. I'm having to wait for the... There's even a delay, and I just died for no reason. Uh-oh, this might be borderline broken. But at least we can play this one. If you saw the episode where we were playing the computer in Japan, the PC 6001, Frogger, official Frogger by Konami was on it. And this one looks kind of like it. This one looks like the graphics are similar. Let's see if I can at least make it across the street. Nice and easy. Go, go, go. Yeah, I'm dying, and I don't know why I'm dying, so that's pretty much broken. Yes, most likely basic. But the only thing I'll say is this is really similar graphic-wise to that NEC PC 6001 Frogger that's officially by Konami. Because if you look at the Frog, the design of Frogger looked more like a stick figure on the 6001. So that's all I'll give the Commodore VIC-20. That is very interesting. We just saw that game, and here we have Hoppy, which is really close to it. Well, Hoppy, though, is not really fun. That's borderline broken because I was dying across the street and I don't even know why. It was part of a compilation. We're going to see that a lot in the United Kingdom. So I'll say of all the games we've seen up to this point, Hoppy is a 1-star. It's refreshing because it's Frogger, but it's still a broken game. Yes. Landfill. It's part of the compilation. There was other ones on there. 7 other games that were included too. All right, with that, let's see what our next game is. As we traipse along at some time in June 1982, here in Italy is Isodoro Sonja, Cessate e Fuoco, which my Italian's terrible. You can take it or leave it. This basically is Heathcliff in Italy. Let's take a look at the box for Heathcliff in the palm of your hand. This is published by Polystil, also by VTech. And so this one looks like the front of the German box. We flip it over in the back. They have an example of what the handheld is like. We played another one with John Reddick of Gen X Grown Up, and this is the other Heathcliff from Italy handheld. Let's go put in the palm of our hand, Isodoro Sonja, Cessate e Fuoco, which in Italian roughly translates to ceasefire. So let's play some ceasefire. There it is. In the palm of our hand. Another proof we're playing every single video game. Let's put game A, pushing game A, and we're in. Oh man, the sounds. All right, so I can move left and right, and I have a shoot on each side, but I think shoot does the same. Yeah, so shoot does the same thing. The last one we played, Sonja, or Heathcliff's girlfriend, just sits there and doesn't do anything. but I move left and right, and I am destroying the fire that they are setting. So essentially, it's a fixed shooter. I'm just moving left, right, and firing at the fire that comes down. I get to play as a fire cat, putting out the fires. And what you see here is what you get. That's the gameplay. That's what it's like to play a handheld for the time. Honestly, it's all right for the time for a handheld. It definitely is no Donkey Kong on the Nintendo Game & Watch, and it's no Oil Panic by Nintendo. Nintendo has got the handhelds down. Just wait till they take over the home console world. Yes, we didn't play this game specifically. We played another Heathcliff game from Italy, and this would be the other one. All right, so I pretty much got the idea. That's it. Yes. Oh, he did for Smokey Bear. Nice. All right, so of all the handhelds we'd play, that's pretty average, honestly. I'd rate it higher because of all the handhelds we've seen up to this point. It just gives me Tiger Electronic vibes. So I'm going to go 3 stars of all the handhelds you could play up to this point. It does the job well, and it's a fun time waster. All right, after going to Italy, let's see where we're going now. It's time to head back to North America and play Killer Mansion on the Coco. Let's check out Killer Mansion. This one has no other artwork except for a few screenshots, so we're just going to pop in and play Killer Mansion. At sometime in June 1982, we got Killer Mansion. You're a detective in a large city. An insane man has recently robbed a bank, killing 3 people and running off with $1 million. You suspect the criminal is hiding out in an old abandoned mansion. Your mission is to find the treasure and the money while evading the criminal. All commands are verb noun, so 2-word text parser. Aw, thanks. We like 2-word text parsers here. All right, so let's see what's on the disc. Yes, text adventure. All right, so this one's in basic. Hopefully that means it runs okay. And as usual, we are not giving you the legitimate 1982 experience because you would be lost playing most text adventure games. I will be following a walkthrough, at least the ones I could find. Yes, we want instructions. How do you play Killer Mansion? Oh, it's the same ones I read. There we go. So what we said before, the criminal's waiting for you. We got to go find them. You start at the mansion and roam around using different commands like get, drop. For a complete list of commands, type com. When it asks what you're going to do, there you go. That's what they should be doing for text adventure games. You must find clues in order to solve the mystery. Good luck. Yes, we are. We're in a hallway. You can go north, south, east, and west. You see a broken light fixture, a few cobwebs, and a cracked mirror. That right there in the top right corner is the very beginning of text adventure games having an in-game map. We've only seen a sprinkling, maybe 5 other games that have done this, where they had something to show you your exits in a text adventure game. Very, very nice. Oh yeah, another one from a tape magazine. Thanks, Curtis. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to go west. That's what we're going to do. So you can see as we're now in the den, and it tells us we can go all 4 cardinal directions again. Let's head west again. We have an antique desk and a stranger's footprints in here. Okay. Now we're in a closet. We can go only north and east. We see a flattened out hat and an old chicken bone. Get that bone. Okay, you got it. Oh, they give us a confirmation. Most time text adventure games don't do anything. And after we get the bone, let's go ahead and go north. Now that we can go north, we're in a storage closet, we can only go north, east, and south. So that right there is one quality of life that I enjoy, is showing you your exits that you can go to. That's pretty cool. All right, so let's go east from here. And now we're in a dining room with a table and an old stove. Let's go east again. And we're in the living room with a wrinkled newspaper and nail file. There's a lot of things we can see. We're in a sitting room. We can see a man-eating watchdog. The dog will tear you to shreds unless you drop something right now. What will you drop? Well, we're dropping that bone. Got to drop a bone. You're saved? No, wait. Not you are saved. You're saved. Okay, you dropped it. What are you going to do now? Let's go east. We're in a secret room. We can go only west. We have a stranger's footprints in here and a control panel. Okay, so let's move panel. You're in 3 levels to choose from: red, blue, or yellow. Which one do you want? We want to do yellow. Oh, did the game crash? All of a sudden, you find yourself being sucked out of the room. Oh, nice touch. You seem to be all right. Oh, here we go again. Ugh. You're in a dungeon. You can only go east. You see a scampering rat and a few cobwebs. Oh, can we get the rat? You cannot get that rat. Oh, darn. That's one of the things I enjoyed about text adventure games, is just seeing what was possible. What could you do? Okay, so we can't get the rat. Let's go ahead and go east. That's the only way we can go. We're in a torture room. You can see an old skeleton. Nice. Okay, let's move the skeleton. The skeleton rolls over. There's a knife clenched in his hand. Get that knife. Okay, you got it. All right, let's go ahead and head north. You're in a jail room. You can see an ice pick and a locked door. Okay, so get pick. Get pick. Get the pick. And after we got the pick, don't pick the pick, but pick the pick that you didn't pick. And then use the pick. And they're going to ask what on, I bet. It works. The door opened. You find yourself in a den. Okay, so after we do that, let's go ahead and go south. You're in the kitchen. Oh, the scampering rat is back. I wonder if he moves around from room to room when you play. Yeah, it's yeah, we need to go back to Bedlam and have frontal lobotomy time. All right, so after we go there, let's go south again. We're now in the dining room again. Looks familiar. Okay, let's go east. We're in the living room. Let's go east again. We're now in the sitting room. We have a friendly watchdog. He's chewing the bone. So now we have south. We're in the bathroom with a towel, rusty faucet, and plunger. These kinds of text adventure games where you're wandering around the mansion, they're kind of fun because you have different things you want to try and do. In each room, I want to try and pick things up and do things with them. I'm following the walkthrough because, believe it or not, this is a pretty cryptic text adventure game, and there's not really a whole lot you can do. There's more of puzzles that will pull your hair out kind of thing. You got me, Errol. I'd like to know what it is, though. Yeah, I'm sure. All right, so let's see what's next. All right, so let's go south again. We're in the fruit room. This time, let's go east. We're in the coal room and go east again. We're in a small passage. We have, a half-eaten whopper, a stranger's footprints, a blood stain. All right, let's go north. We're in a hiding room. We can see a silver key. You hear someone. You're looking around. It's him. All of a sudden, the lights turn off and he jumps on you. Oh man, time to turn the lights off. Wham! Thud! Zap! Oh, nice touch! See, this is great. These are little touches that just change up the text adventure game. Your only chance is to use something. What are you going to use? The knife. Yes. The criminal falls back. His last words are, "They will never find it. It is too deep." Oh, now we got to find what it is. Let's get that key. Okay, you got it. So much fun. We played a lot of text adventure games here on the show. That was just a quick taste of the Killer Mansion. It's actually a short one if you know what to do, but it's another very cryptic text adventure game. Of all the text adventure games we played for the time, I still enjoyed it. Had a pretty good time. I'm going to 3.5 stars for all the games you could play on a home computer. It's around the average range, but I'm going to notch it above just because of the quality of life with the map in the top right corner, and then how they were changing up the way the game was played with slight graphics. So cool game. Killer Mansion. Let's press forward and see our next one. We're still on the TRS-80 color computer, and now it's time to play Maze Race. Let's see what Maze Race has for us. Another one that we don't have any images for. Yeah, we just have a few screenshots for Maze Race. Let's pop in and play Maze Race by Andrew Hubble at sometime in June 1982. Hey, thanks so much, Jenna. Screw up. I appreciate it. You liked Killer Mansion that much? Or maybe you like the color computer that much. All right, so this one is machine language. We have to know how to load this one. Big shout outs to Curtis Boyle. Couldn't have done this without you. To play some Maze Race. We want to play Maze Race from Disc. That's true. If it was a Whopper, was it really endorsed by Burger King? Or we're in the Wild West of video games, so anyone can do anything they want to do. All right, so start the program. There we go. Mr. Hubble, great job. This is published by Tom Mix Software. I'm ready to play. Now, this game can be played with 2 players simultaneous. Now, I will show you, because if you do 1 player, it's just one person going to run the maze. So I'm going to push 2 for 2 player, and we are in. So the way this works is, it is a top-down maze game, but it's a legit, it's a maze, as you can see. It's almost like the Amazing Maze that we played in the arcades again in the 70s, a throwback to that one. If you don't have a second player, then don't fret. There's going to be a computer that will take over eventually to play. You can see, yeah, they're starting to play now because there's not a second controller that's plugged in, and they wander around the maze and move around, but you're not picking anything up. It's not Pac-Man. It's just essentially get to the end of the maze. So what you see here is the way it works. They're not even tracking or showing you where you came from. It is, you just have to memorize and know where to go, which I'm already lost because I was narrating and trying to go through at the same time. Let's try to go, no, I am totally lost. Whoa, after a while, the colors, gosh, they pop so much that you don't know what to do. Yes, it is such a large maze. This one actually might be one of the most difficult top-down maze games we've seen so far. The one in the arcade in the 70s was pretty close to this, but I'm trying to think of other ones. Like we had played some on the Atari VCS that were just a maze, but they weren't. The resolution wasn't this high. Oh man, they're timing us. That's great. We're gonna take forever to get through this. But there you go. That is Maze Craze. It was, I'm sorry, Maze Race. That was Maze Race for the TRS-80 color computer. What do you say? A maze game that's 2 players simultaneous? It's a nice touch. I'd still say of all the games you could play, it's around the average range. It is enjoyable if you have a friend to play with, but it's not something that's pushing the boundaries or doing anything incredible as far as gameplay goes. So there's Maze Race for you. Victor's going 2. Yes. Oh, yeah, someone's gray matter, possibly. All right, let's keep going and play every single video game. Our next game is still on the TRS-80 color computer, and this is Mercenary Force. At this point, when we play every game that's released at some time in June of 1982, they have to be in alphabetical order, and just happen to be these 3 Coco games in order. For this one, we have the advertisement you would have seen in magazines at the time. This is by GoSub. Mercenary Force says it's a command a mercenary army. Decide the number of men, type of weapons, armor, air support, medical aid, and transports. Battle the enemy in jungles, underwater, on moons, and in space. 1 to 4 players. You need 16K, and it's only 17 bucks. All right, let's pop it and play Mercenary Force by GoSub International at some point in June 1982. Yes. All right. Yeah, anything with 2 players, I always bump it up higher than it should, because if you got someone else to play with, it's a good time. All right, Merc Fork. Let's go. Another one in basic. This game is the business simulation game that we've seen a few times before, but it's the business simulation where you're running a mercenary force. You're in charge of, oh, this is nice. Let's do 2 players. First player, I'll play as Chrono. Last person in chat was Errol. So, Errol, you are on the board. Let's play some Mercenary Force. Force Leader Chronos, concept report for year 1. I have 2 million credits available. Your job is to attack, and your pay will be, wow, over 3 million credits. So it tells you the mission, and you got to decide if you want to accept the mission or not. It tells you what planet it's on. We're in a sci-fi world. We don't have any other paperwork or artwork to know about the story of this this game, but we have enemy troops, weapons, armor, and it tells you what we're going to go against. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say I'm not going to accept this mission. I'm going to push number 2, and now it gives us another one to check out, and I'm going to say no for this one. I'm going to say no, and I don't want to do this one either. Let's just say no. And so it shows us our forces. It gives us the stats at the end of the year. We push enter to continue, and then my turn is done. So the first player is finished with their turn. I didn't do anything exciting. I just said, I don't want to accept any missions right now. Better than go to. That's right. We want more subs. We want more subs here. Yes, the Burba printer stand is all cool. That's true. Yeah, it's happening now. It is. So now we got Force Leader Errol's concept report for year 1. They have 2 million credits. Holy moly, this job will pay 6 million credits. So you can see what he needs to know. It's going to be underwater, so that's important to know. It's on planet Beta. Enemy troops are 23,000 troops. Enemy weapons are using high tech, and then we don't know the enemy armor. So it pays out a lot. Now you have to decide what you're going to do for this. Let's say yes. We're going to accept the mission, and now we want to know what kind of inventory you want to put in. So if you want to do troops, they had 20,000. We got to put at least 20,000 in, right? Okay, and then for armor, we said armored vehicles are 35,000 each. So let's do 2. And then aircraft, we don't need them because it's going to be in the water. And then expenses so far look good. Let's do logistics. This is the other things we can take along with us. So let's take some food each trip. Let's do for the entire time. Weapons, because this one's going to be a big one. Weapons, let's see, they are doing high-tech, so we're going to do high-tech. Medics, so you're just picking the options for how you want to do this mission. Let's do medical aid, cost is 10 CPM, yeah. And life support, let's do some life support. We'll just do part-time life support. Insurance, you going to do insurance in space? Sure, we'll do 60%. Give us 60%. Transportation, so this one we need to know, it's going to be convoy, I guess. And we are ready to start. We pushed 7. How long do you think you'd survive in an underwater situation without air? So we have to have bought something that gives us air underwater, and we didn't do that. So it looks like the force consists of the air armor, cash credits, available credits, total credits. Yeah, so it looks like we didn't make the best decision for Errol's turn, but that's how you would play these business management simulations. You'd have to go through and decide what options are the best options. It said friction feed on that ad. Awesome. All right, so we're back to my turn. This is another one that is going to pay out for 6 million credits if I want to go for it. So yeah, let's say yes. Let's try to accept this one. Troops we want, let's go with 20,000 again. And armor, let's go with 35,000 each. Aircraft, let's go with 4. Let's see, expenses so far. Okay, looking pretty good. Okay, let's go for logistics. Food, let's go ahead and give the entire trip food. 2, weapons, let's go high-tech weapons. 3, we want medical aid. 4, life support, let's do full-time life support. Oh, do we not have enough? Oh, we only can do part-time. Okay, that means how much do we have for insurance? Can we even do insurance? Okay, we can. And then transportation, let's go hyper. Go hyper or go home and start that mission. The enemy's real strength is 21,330 troops, 3 units of armor, 5 aircraft. Enemy is stronger. Your forces are being routed. You now have 2 choices. So even though we made all those decisions, I thought they were good decisions. They weren't good enough. We can either now pull out and collect insurance, receive transportation home, or proceed with the action. We are going to go proceed with the action. Let's go. You were badly beaten. Your pay is 50% or 3 million credits. You lost 60% of your men and equipment. The medics saved 10% of your losses. Darn. Your forces now consist of, and then it gives us the stats for what we have left after that. And then it's Errol's turn, and then it proceeds back and forth. Turn-based business management game. Really funny, though, that you're playing a business management game, and it's about a mercenary force. So cool. Of all the games we've seen to this point, I enjoy this menu-based strategy or tactical games. It works much better and plays much better. So Mercenary Force, I'd still say about 3 stars for all the computer games you could play for the time. It is a perfectly average title. Yes, that's true. Rename the troops to administration. Oh, yes. Commander, leave. We're going in. We're going to fight them all now. All right, so that was Mercenary Force for the TRS-80 Coco. I am really excited for the next one. Let's see what the next game is. It's time to go play on the Atari home computer, and this is Nautilus. Let's see what Nautilus is all about, starting with the box. This is the game from Synapse Software. I'm really excited to show this one off. The front of the box just says, hey, we're playing a naval warfare game. We got a destroyer there. We got a sub. We're going to have some watercraft fun. Let's flip it over on the back. This game requires joysticks. There isn't much time. You're the commander of the Nautilus, an average class submarine armed with full arsenal of Thunderbolt torpedoes. The fate of the continent rests on your ability to think and act instantly. The danger is overwhelming. On the surface, destroyer transports armed with depth charges and motion-seeking missiles hunt you. Below, the submarine attack bases protected by energy core transformers launch floater mines to intercept you. Behind, frogmen. Limpet teams stalk your every evasive maneuver. Ahead, unknown danger awaits, and meeting with destiny. Blast after blast rocks the Nautilus, and you fight for control. And time after time, your torpedoes home in on their target. But can the Nautilus take the punishment? Do you have the nerve and will conquer and prevail? Twin independent screen displays make Nautilus the fastest, most unique game that you've ever seen. Challenge your friends with the computer in this 1- or 2-player action-packed arcade game. Good luck, Commander. You'll need it. And the reason I read the intro is because a lot of intros for games, when you go to the store and read them on the back, they promise a lot. This game delivers. Let's see what we have for Nautilus. This is one I did not hear about until doing the channel, and I'm really excited to show it off. Here's the ad we have for Nautilus, along with Chicken, which we've seen, and Protector, really good games. Nautilus is another one. by Synapse Software. There's the cassette that we'll be playing on. It's both in cassette and disc. There you go. There's an example of the 5 1/4 floppy disk. Here we go. The manual for Nautilus. This is by Mike Potter. Way to go, Mike. On Synapse Software, shows you how to load. We're going to skip by that. The object of the game is to score as many points as possible. Haven't heard that one before. During a time period selected. Since Nautilus is an interactive game, the strategy and goals differ between the submarine, which is the Nautilus, and the Colossus, which is the destroyer. The Nautilus scores points by destroying underwater enemy cities. They have proton energy pods at their centers. The pods are vital to the Nautilus as they are the source of power for the submarine's engines, defense, and life support systems. The Nautilus has Thunderbolt torpedoes, and they blow apart the underwater cities, depth charges, Barracuda missiles, and then they can even attack the Colossus directly if you want. The Colossus, or the destroyer, is designed to transport underwater repair teams from the right-hand shore to the left-hand shore. It carries an armament of depth charges and Barracuda missiles. It moves at roughly twice the speed of the Nautilus, and the commander of the Colossus can gain points for every successful transfer of men from one shore to the other. So they get points by doing rescue missions. So there's a simultaneous rescue mission here and a destruction at the same time. Oh yes, it's that dude and his robot cat. That's right. Yeah, if Yoda was a meth head, right? The Colossus uses depth charges as an offensive weapon, trying to contain the Nautilus and destroy it. The depth charges drop quickly as the difficulty level increases, and they're detonated by contact with subterranean objects. The Barracuda missiles are the ones that the Nautilus can shoot out, and they can be launched over and over again. It uses your power-up to do that. And then we have the Limpet Lurkers, which are intelligent pursuit devices that materialize at random areas of the depths, lower depths where you wait for the Nautilus to pass by. And now we have the underwater cities. They contain vast energy supplies in the form of protopods. They're positioned in the core of each city, so you have to destroy the city to get to the pod. If the rebuilding of the cities takes place when the Colossus at the top completes a trip from right to left. After that, the repair team departs, goes down the left chute under the ocean floor, and the damaged city rebuilds itself, and a new core is replaced underneath it. Energy core transformers are the electronic locks located at various entrances of caves and other parts that are deadly to any vessel that makes contact with them. So don't let your sub go there. There's also a sonar here. It has showing you where the submarine is if you're only going to look at the top of the screen. And, oh man, this has so much to it. There's so much to break down that we haven't seen before. This is a revolutionary game. Skill levels and handicapping. There's also 9 different skill levels, but you don't push the select button on your Atari computer to select it. You push A through I to go the different skill levels. You can also select how many points are awarded for each city block that's repaired, and this ranges from 10 to 9, so you can even set the number of points and use that with numbers 1 through 8. You can also select the number of time. Oh, okay, so that's what the select does. And you can play either a 3 to 9 minute game. So the select on your home computer does something. And then you also have player options to play against the computer or 2 players simultaneously. And then we also have the notes of how to play. I'll show you how to play Nautilus. That's all we'll need for the manual. Let's pop in Nautilus and Play by Mike Potter at sometime in June 1982, published by Synapse Software Corporation. This has so many things that we haven't seen before that I don't know if I'm going to be able to get into all of it. First, we'll start with this. Let's make it loud. There we go. Oh, if it was released later as an Intellivision game, I'm not aware of that one. Because Synapse, I know they released some games too. Yeah, here we go. The first time we've ever seen anything like this is this version. Nice touch. The Atari 800 is one of the few computers where we can hear this kind of chords in music. There's no other place. Usually we hear beeps, but nothing to this. This sounds so good. All right, let's go. All right, so the first thing you're going to see in the game is this is a 2-player split-screen game. This is one of the first video games to ever do this. I will attest that the very first split-screen game was 1977's Drag Race. You know, it had the car, the drag racer at the top and the bottom, and it was a split-screen game. So the first split-screen game did that. And we've seen other games that do split-screen, but a lot of times what you're seeing on the top and bottom is totally different. This is the very first time that you have someone freely moving around at the top and someone can freely move around at the bottom. So I'm going to take over with, let's do a player 1 and player 2. So I'm going to have player 1 and player 2 at the top. I'm not going to go through any other additional changes with speed. I'm just going to keep it base as is, but this has lots of options as well. And I'm going to start the game. And now that I start, I am going to move around as the player at the bottom. So here I am at the sub at the bottom. Look at this screen and how it moves around. I'm freely moving around at the bottom as the sub, and then simultaneously at the top of the screen, player 1 plays as the destroyer and can move left and right at the same time. Yeah, the sound was a nice touch. They didn't even have to do that part. This part is what's pretty cool. What you're seeing in the sub screen is the fish that swim around, and then you have a torpedo that can destroy the cities. I'm going to destroy over on this side and blow this whole city up because I want to get there to my power capsule. And then you pick up the power capsule, make your way around, destroy more cities, and your mission is to destroy all the cities and get the power capsules. Not only that, but look what Mike Potter did with the map. I'm firing against the wall, so I know I can't bring my sub that direction, but I can bring my sub through these tunnels. Subterranean tunnels on a split-screen game, and I have a mission that I'm following, while simultaneously the second player, it has a mission that they're following. So I pick up my proton packs, I got some more things I can blow up, and then these right here are indestructible, but you can turn them on. And let me see if I can turn them on now. No, okay, they won't turn on until we go to the main title screen. But those are essentially like force fields or barriers that you can use. All right, so I'm going to make my way around as the sub again. Just destruction. Destructible cities underwater. So cool. And you can see we have a mine can blow up. I don't know what this... Oh, that's a mine that's materializing, trying to come after me. Okay, so now let's switch to the destroyer. The Colossus at the top can move left and right, and it can also push up on the joystick. And the joysticks are the Atari VCS joysticks to drop depth charges. Now, the sonar that the Colossus reads is at the top of the screen too. The sonar, you can see my depth charge just fell down where the sub was. The sonar lets you know where the sub is. If I'm right over the sub, it flashes. So right now I know I am directly over the sub. If I drop a depth charge, it's starting to come down toward the sub. So the second player down here at the bottom knows, oh gosh, there's a destroyer above me. He just dropped a depth charge. See, there it is. So it lets me know he's above me. And I think I lost fuel. Yeah, I didn't pick up enough sources as the submarine, so the submarine goes down temporarily. All right, so as the destroyer, I'm going to move left and right. I'm going across as the Colossus. I can also drop this heat-seeking missile. You can only drop one at a time. It's now seeking out the submarine. It's going to go find it and destroy it. The job as the destroyer is to move left and right and avoid the helicopter. That's the support convoy of the submarine. So I need to avoid the shots of the helicopter, move my way over to the left. And if I move my way to the left, you'll see I drop a charge that comes down, and it starts to go down to a city and rebuild the city down below. Oh, is the time up already? Wow, we already talked through the time for the first game. So this time, let's turn on the force fields. There we go. So the force fields are now going to go on. And you can also change the difficulty of how fast the game moves, like bullets, torpedoes, depth charges. All that can be configured. And you can even change, one player or two player. You can play against the computer, where the computer will control the destroyer at the top, and you control the submarine. Yes, this is so many things that we haven't seen in a video game before. I'm loving this. It's so good. All right, so let's go ahead and start again. I'll do a two-player game to show you, again, the top Colossus moving left to right. I'm going to go over to the end. Now, since there was no city destroyed this time... Oh, that's right, the force fields. So if you get destroyed as the destroyer, you just get warped back for repairs, and you dock here, and then you just go again. So when you get blown up as the sub or as the destroyer, it's just like temporary setback, because your ultimate goal is to keep all the cities up and do enough rescues to get points. And then the sub's goal is to destroy all the cities. And then at the end of the time limit, then whoever gets the most points wins. So it's a great competitive game. It has so much depth to the gameplay. All right, so we're going to go all the way over to the left as the destroyer. You can see I did it again. I turned the force fields on, and now you have to time yourself through the force fields. I'll go down as the sub, and you can see there's a force field here flashing. And I ran out of fuel because I'm supposed to be destroying cities and getting the fuel cells inside. Oh yeah, 2 people to play together would be fantastic. So then I just squeeze through the force field underwater. Now we'll try again as the destroyer. I'll drop one of those. And, oh, it blew up. And I got to go back for repairs. So let's go back over on this side. The fuel that you see is what's left for the submarine to use. All right, so I'm going to watch the force field. Be careful. Okay, I'm going across now. Let's see if there's another one. Okay, there you go. So I picked one up. They're going to start repairs on one of the cities if they need them. You can see it pass by underneath the sub. And then I go back over to the right, and I get some points as the... there you go. I got 1,000 points as the destroyer. But this would be a great game to go back and forth, trying to see who could get the number of points or not. Oh yeah, the 2-player is so good. This is one of the best computer games you could play at the time. For all this game, all the gameplay and variety, and the 2-player simultaneous gameplay, there's so much here they're doing that we haven't seen that it sets it apart as just a very well-made game. There we go. Pick that one up. You can see my fuel changes on the submarine whenever you blow up the city and grab the fuel. I mean, look at this. You have fish swimming around. Nice touch. Now I got to be really careful as the sub as I move around. So you can see I have more force fields. Nice and easy. I'm going to slip under the mine and then turn around and blow this one up. And the other thing that's great too is this is being controlled with the Atari VCS joystick. So nice. Yeah, even when you play against the computer, it's a lot of fun, and you can change the difficulty for how fast the depth charges are going to come down. So the way I'm playing on the slower difficulty, it's more of a strategy game. It's almost like you're playing a slight naval simulator for the time. But if you crank the difficulty up and it goes really fast, it turns into more of a shoot 'em up, like you're playing Fathoms 500. You can see I just love the idea of it's simultaneously splitting the screen so we can play. We haven't seen this. The only things we've seen were identical split of the top and bottom. Nothing where it's independently working from one another. And there you go. The time is up again of the second time we played. Oh, yes, that's true. But we haven't seen Archon yet. I don't know what that is. Yeah, there's too many cool things in this one. I really don't want this one to be missed. If it is true, it's going to be ported later. We will see that one, but for the very first time we can check it out. Of all the computer games you could play for the time, I say it's one of the best computer games. I'm up there with 4.5, possibly 5 stars. Split screen, simultaneous, 2-player co-op. We have objectives, separate objectives for the first and second player to do, and there's almost like a tug of war, because whenever you play this with 2 people, the destroyer is going to keep trying to repair cities while the sub's going down to destroy cities. So it's a constant battle of back and forth between the 2 people. And if you want to play longer, you know, you can get more points for making the time last longer. It's an excellent game. Yeah, so I see 4.5 easy. I'm going to go 5 stars all the way up. I just don't want this one to be forgotten. I want it on our list of some of the best games you could play in 1982 for the home computer. 5 stars for Nautilus, one of the best computer games of all the computer games you could play up to this point. All right, and after that amazing release, it's time to put our video game playing on pause this evening. We're going to continue playing everything we couldn't find the definite release date for in June of 1982, and then keep going with summer. Lots of good releases coming up. That's it for today, and like I always say, what are you going to do, wait for someone else to play every video game? Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.